Hey dear people, today I want to talk about confidence and how important it is to be confident if you're learning something new, right? And I'm sure you know that already. Confidence isn't something that comes naturally to me, so I'm not always feeling confident. But over the years I sort of developed a confidence in my abilities, and I know what I can do and what I can't do, and that is very helpful. And so today I want to talk about that a little bit. So first of all, I want to destroy two myths that I think are not very helpful. So one is that many people think that if you're a very good guitar player and that if you have a certain amount of ability on the instrument, that the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome and maybe the negative self-talk, that it's all going to vanish. Sort of the level of your guitar skills are rising and your confidence is rising at the same time. That doesn't necessarily have to be like this. You know it from my other videos. I have a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of struggling going on, and I think it's a part of the game. I know a lot of very good musicians who struggle with the same stuff as well. Not everybody is talking about it. I think in the music industry you rather not talk about it because most people are afraid maybe they won't get called for a job anymore. It's just like, you know, you want to be strong, you want to show your best self. But a lot of people struggle with the same stuff. But I think also there's a fine line between struggling with negative self-talk and self-doubt that can sort of destroy you, and also just like accepting that this is a part of the game, but not letting it derail you from your past, right? From growing as a musician, just accepting that it is there and just like still continuing practicing, improving, and becoming a better musician. And the other myth that I want to sort of destroy is that sort of if you would only be self-confident, right, then you would play such great solos, your timing would be better, you would be like a better musician because you're so tense and you have so many self-doubts, and that's why it's not grooving, and that's why your solo is not flying. And sort of it might be true that it's good if you're self-confident, but generally speaking, I think having the tools in place, knowing your shit, right? If you know that, and that's a lot of work, you can always play a solo, right? So it's not the confidence or the inspiration that you need to have, it's the tools that you need to have, and those tools, everybody can get those tools, in my opinion. The question is if everybody can work so hard to get those skills. So I'm personally a big fan of Rocky. And there's also a very new series from Arnold Schwarzenegger on Netflix that I just watched. And this stuff just really excites me because they all talk a lot about, you know, they don't have the best circumstances, they don't have the best tool, maybe they don't have enough money, but they're doing the best they can with the situation that they're having. And this is something that really excites me. So it's on the one hand really working on your skills and practicing, taking lessons and really taking it serious, right? It's also right, you need to have some sort of, you know, courage to take it serious, because if you take it serious, there's also the possibility that you can't do it, right? And so sort of saying, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to practice, I'm going to have lessons, I'm going to learn as much as I can. So you don't have this excuse anymore like, oh, I didn't practice, right? So of course, if you didn't practice, you can't play it. Great. So now we have a reason why your guitar playing sucks, you know? So on the one hand, it's really focusing on the skills. I'm going to talk about that in a second a little bit more. And on the other hand, it's really collecting the experiences, right? Going out on sessions or meeting up with people, but just like in real life situations. And those you can collect over the years, and you'll get cooler and stronger with every experience you have, especially if you're also having negative experiences and you keep going. You will know after a while that you will always keep going no matter how hard the circumstances are. So it's good if you're clear about your goals and what you want to achieve. I'm a big fan of writing stuff on a paper and putting it on the wall, because sort of I think our thoughts, it's good if we don't trust them always, if you know what I mean, because sometimes, you know, in my mind, or how I understand it, we have like different sort of brain feelings, sort of brain moments. So maybe if you're waking up in the morning, you're not really awake, you're thinking other stuff, or you're on a commute and you just have those random thoughts coming in about what you should do or what you shouldn't do. And it's sometimes also what we think is not so much thinking, right? Like thinking in a focused way, like, you know, with maybe pen and paper on a desk, really thinking about stuff is not the same way as just like having like random thoughts appear in your brain. And sometimes I take them too seriously, and I think it's good if we learn to not take every thought so seriously and have a goal or a piece of paper we can come back to, right? And then like to know, okay, that's what I really want to do. I wrote it down here. Maybe now you're not in the mood, you're thinking, oh, maybe I don't want to do it. Okay, that's cool. Maybe leave this paper for 1 or 2 more days and look how you feel about it. Maybe you have to reassess your goals, but maybe those goals still are the same ones. So basically this paper on the wall helps you stay focused. And another word about thinking, I think the most important thing is to focus on taking action versus focus on thinking more. Because the action itself, that could be also like just sitting down now with the guitar and playing this scale for 10 minutes, that's like action. This will probably also change the way you think about it, right? And if we think and think about it, maybe sometimes we don't even come to a place where it makes any sense what we have been thinking, if you know what I mean. So always focus on the action. The action can be practicing or meeting with a friend and playing, going to a concert, everything that makes you stronger, right? And just like tell yourself, I'm going to be confident for 1 hour maybe. I'm going to put those negative self-reflections at the back of my head. I'm allowed to get back to them later, right? But now for the moment, I'm just like going to be confident. So confidence, if you're confident that you're going to keep on moving forward and you're not giving up because you're believing in your abilities. And please trust me, it takes a long time to really digest the stuff that you're practicing. It takes up to 1 or 2 years to really have stuff in your system, right? But if you're confident, chances are you're going to stick with it because you believe in yourself that you can learn it. And that brings me to my next point, is learning new stuff. So at the moment I'm working on a video about triad pairs, which is a very cool concept and sort of you can use it instead of playing scales. You would be more thinking in triad pairs. And to be very honest, I have never really checked out that system or this triad pair concept, because I always thought it's going to be too complicated for me, or it's too modern, or it's somehow just for the other people to play, but not for me, because this and that, I can't do that to perfection. So I'm not allowed to move on to the next level. And I think this is so important that we all give our chance to learn really new stuff. It gets me so excited if I learn something new. And that has something to do with confidence as well, because sometimes we just think we can't learn stuff, and you know, it's just nonsense. We all can learn new stuff all our life, right? It never stops. The brain's plasticity never stops. You still can learn new stuff, and the best thing is if it excites you, the better it is, and it will sort of keep all your playing fresh. So don't put yourself in a box like, oh, I only can learn this, or I'm only going to play in this style, or just maybe don't even think about styles. I'm not such a big fan about thinking about styles and what you shouldn't do and what you can do. Just like, devour all the concepts that you get, and then look what happens to your playing. Vulnerability, right? We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and it's so good to know that you don't need to know everything, and I don't know everything as well. What really helps me a lot is to film myself on camera like this, talking or playing, because that gives me a very, I would say, accurate chance to understand how I'm playing, what I can work on. And if somebody says something to me about my playing, and I already realized that as well, I just know, yes, that's the way it is, but I accept it like it is, right? Accepting oneself, but still always aiming for growth, never giving up. So I hope I could help you a little bit with this video. Let me know how you keep yourself motivated. Are you confident in your playing? I have a lot of students. Some are very confident, some are not so confident. Everybody is different, but I think the most important part is never give up and keep on going. And I see you next week. Bye.